Hello everyone, how are we today? Can you believe it's Monday again? And it's August. Wow. I'm just going to find myself on my page and see that we are live in the right place, because the last thing I want to do is to be on the wrong place for you guys. And yes, we are, which is great. And I can be there for everybody. There we go. We are live and rock and rolling. And I even remembered to turn off my sound. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anita Mazzero. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. So it is so good to see you at all. See you all. Oh my goodness, got the clumsy's happening today. So as I said, we're August already, so it's Christmas time. We start getting Christmas cards organised so that we've got them ready. There's a bit happening in the Stampin' Up world, not a lot. It's a little bit quiet, but I have some things to tell you. So what I'll do is I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see what I'm doing, and let me know that you're here, and have a chat, and also share your my video so that other people can pick it up as well. Hello, Jacinta, again. How are you, darling? You did a lovely live today. So I'm just going to turn the camera down and we will start. Gotta find the button. There we go. Just bring it in a bit. I think I've got that right. Right, now, last month, as you will know, we had for every $90, you got a $9 coupon. This month is the time to use it. So don't forget to use them, because come 31st of August, those coupons will become invalid. So if you've got an order to place, pop your coupon in. If you're not sure where to put it, give me a call. I'll talk you through it and show you where to go. Or I can put the order through for you and we can do it that way. Oh, you can come and do my laundry and bathroom if you like, Jacinta. I hate those jobs. Okay, so that's the redeeming of our coupons. Starting tomorrow, we have 15% off all, or selected designer series paper, not all, selected. So there is, I have popped this on my Facebook page for you to have a look at, but we've got the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 DSP, the Countryside Inn DSP, which is beautiful paper, the Country Lace 12x12, Country Woods, Full of Life, Lily Pond, Mediterranean Blooms, Perennial Lavender, which I absolutely love, and also have got Take to the Sky, Thoughtful Journey. Jacinta used this beautiful paper on her live today, and I used it last week, so it is to die for, that paper. The To Market, Unbounded Beauty, Wildly Flowering, and Winter Meadow. Now, Winter Meadow, you may have overlooked. Hello, lovely. How are you, Kay? You might have overlooked because this was in our catalogue last year, and it's back again. So that is a gorgeous one for for Christmas cards. So as I said, it's time to start making Christmas cards. This is a gorgeous paper to look for. Today, I'm going to use the Changing Leaves bundle. Now, this bundle is something very different, as it's a hybrid bundle. And when you purchase the bundle, you receive the stamp set, the Changing Leaves stamp set. You will receive the dies, and you will receive an embossing folder. And it is I don't know if you can see it. I'll just see if it shows. Yes, it does show up. It's beautiful, this beautiful embossing folder. But when we call hybrid, what it does, it's got one, let's get this out for you. It has this one big die, plus the little standalone dies. Look at this cute, cute little die. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely circle, and I love this label die. So this is the die I'm talking about. So when you get a hybrid embossing folder, when you open it up, where it's got the Stampin' Up logo, you take your die and you pop that in, and it will clip into place. And you can see that it's staying in there quite well. And then you put your embossing paper, and it will cut these leaves out and emboss them all at the same time. It's a great bundle, isn't it, Jacinta? I fell in love with this, and I nearly wasn't going to buy it, but I am glad I did, because it is lovely. So it's an online exclusive, so it's not going to be in any catalogue, but it's a great bundle. So as you can see on the stamp sets, it's got very small little sentiments. So as I said, there was this gorgeous little cute one, and look how cute's that for a thank you. Fit that one there. You've got a nice circle one that you could use for that one without being too big, and then you've got this beautiful one that'll fit on these bigger, longer ones. So I just love those little sentiments. Okay, you'll have to put it on your list because you will love it. I'm surprised how much I fell in love with this one, and I don't know, it's just grabbed me, and it's really beautiful to work with. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a little technique that I saw, or I've been inspired by Lena D'Ambrosio. And so as you can see, I have embossed this, and you can see this is the embossed side. But if we flip it over, we have what we call the debossed side. And this is the side I'm going to work with today. So I have got all these autumnal colours that I'm going to use with my sponge daubers onto this, plus Memento. So we're going to get a lovely effect. So I'm hoping it will work and it'll be fine for today so that you can see it and I can get it properly done. So I'm going to start with my lightest colour, which is the Daffodil Delight. So with this, I found the sponge dauber was the easiest with this, rather than using the blending brushes. So I'm going to get the sponge dauber, give it a nice, and I'm just going to pop some colour inside the leaf. It's my base colour on the leaf. And don't be too concerned if you do happen to go slightly over, because you'll see why later on. And then we're just going to pop this colour, and I'm popping the lighter colour first, because it's like anything we do, we go from light to dark. So at the moment, as you can see, I'll just do these 5 leaves first, because that will depend on how I do the rest. So I'll pop that to the side. So I'm going to bring in Pumpkin Pie. And the Pumpkin Pie, just going to make sure it's not over heavy. And I'm just going to add some colour. I want these to look very much autumn. So it's got the look. So I've only got a small amount there, and I don't think it needs much more. I'm just going to put this to the side. Then I'm going to use my red. Now red is a very heavy colour, so I'm going to tell you to just very lightly use the red. I'm just adding a bit of colour. We're just adding colour. That's a little bit heavy, I think. You might like that in there, but I just felt that was a bit heavy. Put that over to the side. So I'm going to get the wild wheat now. And I'm going to pop a little bit of the wild wheat just in a few spots. I'm just dabbing it. That was a little bit heavy. That poor old leaf's gone very heavy. But then again, nature does have light and heavy ones. And my final colour is Old Olive. And again, I'm just going to be careful with the Old Olive. Just put a tiny bit in. So I'm creating, just got a little bit there. So as you can see, I've got, even though it's messy, I've got an autumnal colour. So I'm now going to pick up the same colours in these other leaves. Hello, Kim. We are overdue for a coffee, Missy. I was going to send you a text a little bit later, so. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start back with the daffodil. And again, I'm going to pop some colour in there. I reckon I might have plenty of this darker colours still sitting on this. So just a little bit to create the look. I don't remember which one's which because the wild wheat one looks very much like the green. So I really have to be careful if I set it with the ink pad. So we're just going to pop that on. Thumbs up, that's good, Kim. Right, now we'll go in here and we will. So how was everybody's weekend? I had a fairly busy weekend as I had a class. I then had my grandson's birthday party and then my great-grandson's birthday party. So that was sure making me feel old. I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm old. But the kids make me feel old. Bring the wild wheat in. Oh, that was a little bit heavy, but anyway. These will change colour when I do the next step of this. So as you can see, I'm continuing around with my colour, with what I'm wanting it to be, moving it around, creating the colour. And I've gone a little bit wild there by putting it everywhere. I'll just put a tiny bit. I'm not going to use any red on that one. I think I will just add the wild wheat. So as I said, you can change the look of it and have it the way you want it, because that leaf is very similar, or same sort of leaf. I'm going to do similar colours. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there and then some wild wheat. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. Oh, that sounds fabulous, Kay, having the family home. There's nothing nicer. My son was up from Melbourne with his two boys, and boy, it had been a while since I'd seen them because he's come home a few times on his own, and so we hadn't been able to see them, but it was nice. And you know, family, I don't know about anybody else, that it's important. Here we go. I've only got a couple more to do. Bring in the yellow. It's not This is a quick card that you can put together. It's a card that can go for male or female because autumn tones lend itself very different. A little bit of green in there. Okie dokie. Just going to grab a wipe and wipe this colour off my glass mat. And if you haven't got a glass mat, now's the time to order one while we've still got them, because I'm sure they'll go in no time. I'll just give that a wipe down. Okay, close up these ink pads. And when you do this method, it doesn't matter what colours you use, and I'll show you later quite a few cards where I used all of them in exactly the same way. Yes, I know about Ace and Stu going to the Kangaroos game, and I love that little video clip of Ace. One happy little boy, as no doubt Stu was. Okay, we've closed all those up. Now what I'm going to do is I've got, there it is, I've got some paper here, and I've got a couple of layers because it will get messy. This is the only thing about this particular technique is the messiness. So I'm going to grab my Memento ink, and even though I have gone and purchased one of our craft ink pads and made it black, I'm not using this one because this is more like a sponge. It's going to go into the crevices, and I don't want that. This particular one with its linen, it's not going to give. So this is what I'm going to do. So when you've done this, you're then going to just rub your Memento over your card. And it's sort of, those that have been around for a while and have done a Joseph's coat would know that this is very similar to it, but it's just doing it without having to do the embossing. Using the embossing powders. So we're just going to pop this in, colour it around, and you can see why I said it didn't matter if you were going to have a bit of colour, what your colour was going to look like. Just getting it to go in. Trying to get into those grooves to get the colour nicely covered. Just colouring it in. This is probably the part that takes the most, is just doing this. And because we want to make sure that we've got, as I said, I have done a few of these, so this may be running a little bit low. It doesn't matter. Just pop that in there. So Lena done this more in the greens, and but when I saw it, I felt that the autumn colours was the one that was the best for it. You can see why I didn't want the black all over the glass mat, because it ends up everywhere. And I did use this technique yesterday in the class so that they had a go at doing it as well. One little spot still there. Sure it gets nice. So there you can see how that's turned so differently from the messy mess that we had before. And you've got lots of colour. The definition is in there from the embossing, and it is so great. And I'm going to just get my heat tool, and I'm just going to dry it because it's It's not wet, but I just like to do this, and it also will show me that if there's any spots that I may have missed that I might need to go over. Now this technique is something that you could use with any embossing folder that's got quite large details and that you can pop it through. So what do we think? There's our autumn tones. So I'm going to cut some cardstock. So I've got our card base, and this is Old Olive, 21 centimetres by 14.9, scored at 10.5. So I'll just fold that. And burnish the fold, because we know if we burnish the fold it's nice and flat and it stays nice. Then I've got a piece of wild wheat, 14.4 by 10. I'll just make sure I've got the right piece because I've got two different sizes here. Yep, that's the one. Then I've got another piece, and I've got to remember the size of this one, 8.5 by 13.1. So it's going to sit like that. So our card's going to be landscape, and then I'm going to pop that on top. So as you can see, I've just got a small border. So this piece is, it says 8.5 on there. I'll get my notes are way over the other side of the room, so I'm not really. 8.7 by 13.1 for the white, and for my embossed piece is 8.4 by 12.8. So they're going to sit like that. But this piece needs something. And I think with what I might do with this one is I might emboss this as well. I have stamped on the others, on my earlier ones, but I think I might do an embossed one. So I'm hoping that when I do this, I am not going to be sending everything flying, and I'm not going to have anyone getting seasick because my table does rock. So we're going to take this, I'm going to pop this in, and I'm going to use my line that's on the page there to measure up where to pop it. So when we're using our embossing folders, and this is a 3D embossing folder because, sorry about that, it's a thicker folder, we use the #1 plate. We then put our embossing folder with the spine at the top, and then we bring in our #4 plate, which is the embossing specialty plate. Pop that through. I hope no one got seasick through all that. Right. Oh, I do like that. Look at the intensity of the embossing. Isn't it just amazing? And you know, you could even, with the embossed side, with your blends, you could create shadows and fill in the background and create a completely different look. So there's another idea. So I think I'll use the embossed side this way with the debossed side. Oh yes, I do like that with the leaves in the background. I think that looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this flat onto my cardstock. And Wild Wheat was a colour, a lot of people when it came out as an in colour last year was not too happy with it. I love it because to me it's a gold look without using gold paper. And when you buy gold foil, you only get 2 sheets in it, so it doesn't last very long. Right, now I'm going to glue this down. Glue this flat because I want to pop dimensionals underneath this. Right, I'm going to just pop that. As I said, it's only got a smidgen of a border, and that's just what I wanted because all I wanted to do is to highlight the white that is popping through the paper. Oops. Thank goodness for liquid glue. Sorry, I'm probably dropping out of camera, going into my normal comfort zone. I might have to learn to set up my camera in a way so that if I do drop down low, you can still see me. Because you know it's like when you're at home, you just get comfortable. You're liking the look of it so far, Jacinta. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because I want to do some embossing, some white embossing, because I'm thinking of putting some ribbon. And I'm not sure. I've got this gold ribbon. And now that I've seen this, I'm not sure if the gold goes with it. Let's see what it looks like on camera, because that'll tell me whether or not I'm going to go with that. I don't know. I think I don't know whether to use ribbon or twine. Because with the twine, what I'm thinking of is we've got this gorgeous twine coming out in our new catalogue. As demonstrators, we get a sneak peek at some of the stuff, and we had an event called Creativity Now where we got to see some of it. I'm thinking this is going to look really nice with it. Do a couple of rows of that. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll go this way. I'm not going to worry about the twine, about the ribbon. It was a good idea at the time, but not now. Do you ever get like that where you change your mind while you're doing something? Okay, I'm going to get my embossing buddy. I've got a nice big strip of black because I want to use the Happy Birthday from the Sweetly Scripted stamp set. And what I like about this will go across your card. But you can cut it down whichever your way. But I do like the idea of this one. That is not it. So I'll take my Versamark. I'm going to stamp up my Happy Birthday. And the thing is, I'm changing my mind. Hello, Michael. How are you today? Good to see you. You put me to shame with your colouring, Michael. You have been producing some beautiful cards. You'll have to come to Horsham and we'll have to do a colouring class together. I'm sure some of the girls watching would love to know what you do. So we'll get that. And I've got some of the Wow embossing paper. So with embossing powder. Now, the Wow powder is new. And because it works exactly the same way as the previous one. Whoops, back in camera. Sorry, everybody. Yes, Michael, Kay's already in there. She wants to be part of it. So with this, we've been told not to use it with our old powder. So it's in a different bottle, different shape. And so at the moment, I've got a little bit of the old one left, but I wanted to use the new stuff. And it's a fine powder. I'll just pop that on there, make sure I've got it well covered. Well, that sounds like a plan, Michael. I'm sure I could get a couple of girls to come around and we could have a fun day learning some of your techniques in colouring. Because If you haven't seen Michael's work, go to YouTube and have a look at Michael's card art. And Michael's work is absolutely amazing. And I know Kay follows you, and we often sit and discuss the colours you've used, how you've turned out what you've got. It's amazing. So see, Michael, I hope your ears are burning. Okay, we'll just set this down. Just going to the back side of this. Nearly finished. Always make sure that everything has set when you're embossing. And if you want to know now, ask me. You're blushing, Michael. I'm glad I made you blush. Yes, we will. I've got your phone number. I'll give you a call and we will look at some dates. And then I can put the word out with the other girls that would like to come. I know Miss Kay will be in it. Okay. There we go. Now, what I was thinking with this one is I might use, if it fits, and it doesn't. Whoop, that's not going to work. Oh, well. I'll go back to the original. Okay. And we might just pop that. Like so. So I'll trim that down and we'll pop that like so, and I might put a nice big bow behind it. After having a class yesterday, a class on Saturday, then having the 2 birthday parties, my desk looks like a bomb has hit it. So we'll just trim that there. And we will pop that like so. Actually, I think I might turn that up the other way, have the leaf. I have been inclined when I've been doing this is just turning the leaf going up. I'm going to do that. There we go. Now I think what I might do is just put a nice big bow using this beautiful twine. Hello, Lucia. Welcome. Thank you, Michael. Lucia, you're a little bit late. We were just talking with Michael. We're going to try and get Michael to come to Horsham and show us his beautiful colouring techniques. So maybe you might need a trip to Horsham. Okay, let's have a look at this. And I reckon I might just sit that. Let's get on the card. I'm going by the fly now. I'm changing my mind completely to what I was doing. Now, before I cut anything off, should I do it that way or should I cut the happy birthday down and have it smaller? Because originally what I was going to do was have the bow sit like that with the happy birthday. You think you need to be the first here, okay? And you've just ordered this set. See, you and I think too much alike. I'm sure if we looked at our stashes, we'd have nearly identical stamp sets. I know you're not into the cutesy, whimsical caricatures, which I love, but yeah. Right, okay, people, tell me, should I leave it like that or trim it down and just have the bow at the side? Or should I put the twine across and, well, actually I could probably put some twine underneath. I am rethinking that I might put some twine top and bottom, or actually a layer. Let me dive in and see if I can find where some copper clay. I'm really winging it today. Without the twine, the first option, the long one without the twine. Okay, easy fix. I was just sitting here thinking maybe I add a layer, but I think that's too much. Right, thank you for your help. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my base. Just trying to see if I've got some large ones. Some large black ones. Okay. I must be due for another order of dimensionals. Can never have enough, can a girl? I wish Stampin' Up would have the white ones with a different coloured paper on it so that when we lift it, we know that we've got them all, like the black works. I have been colouring them, but every now and then I just forget to do the colouring. Thank you, Lucia. I'm glad you like that. Playing in the Rain. Oh, you sold me on that set when you did the demonstration for your in Sydney, even though I wasn't there. Okay. And then I'm going to put this also on dimensionals on there. Now, the question I'm going to ask you all, should we add bling? Because this has got a lot on it, I'm leaning no, because where's my dental hook? Here's my dental hook. It was just this one was closer. I've got the dental pick. Now I should clean my teeth while I'm at it, shouldn't I? Okay. I will pop that on there. I think it does need something because I haven't got the ribbon. I'll show you what I've done before we go any further. These are the cards. As I said, once I started with this this technique, I went a bit nuts. So nearly the same colours. I've only changed the wild wheat from a green. This one I used shaded spruce, which is a bit blue. And look, I just went nuts. So these 6 cards that you see here, they all have exactly the same colour except that one, I changed the green. And have a look at the difference that it made in the card. So yeah, I went a little nuts, I know. Different backgrounds, different colours, and again, how different does that one look? That was my original. So just how different they look. Yet it's this, I'll bring it down. Whoops, I keep thinking I'm right in the spot. So as you can see, it's so different, yet it's the same. And it's a technique, and as I said, I call it the Joseph's coat cut without doing the embossing of the and I just think this turns out really well. I did do a couple of other cards slightly different, and so what I did was just I did a card just with stamp, and this one used the die cuts. So you can see that there's so much in this particular set that you can do. Now, the only thing I haven't done, and I know I had it here a minute ago, was where did I put my insert piece? There it is. So what I'm going to do on the insert, I won't show you what I did until I've done it. So I've got to remember that my card's going this way. So I've taken the big leaf and I'm once again going to do my colours like I did on the front. Let's start with my lighter colour. And this is where we get the fun of the huffing and puffing on our... I'm just popping this on. It's sort of becoming my base colour, I would call it. Then I'll get the pumpkin pie and just add a little bit of pumpkin pie, not too heavy, just enough so that I know it's in there. I am colouring the whole of the leaf, not the stem, because I'm not sure how far I'm going to use it to stamp on the card. I'll just put a little bit of red in here, I'll just do the reds on the tips. And then some wild wheat. Oh, now I've got to remember which one. That's the wild wheat. That's the green. So I've got my wild wheat first, because the green is the darker colour. And as we know, we go light to dark. I'm going to pop that in there. And then the old olive. I'm going to pop a little bit of old olive in here. It's going to more pick up. I'll put a touch at the tips. Not everything changes at once on an autumn leaf. And now I'm going to do the huff and puff. So I'm going to huff on this. And I'm going to decide which way I want my leaf. I might just put it over in this corner like so. And voila. And this look reminds me of the baby white technique. So as you can see, you've got the colour. I'll bring that a little bit closer to the camera so you can see. So it's given the full detail of the leaf. It's given it's the colour and it's brought it out. And I'll just this. And make sure my hands are clean before I touch. So I'm going to glue that flat onto some wild wheat. And I've just, again, got a very minute border around for the card. And see, just placing it onto the, oops, we've slipped a bit. Just placing it onto the card, the colour changes again, and then the colour changes as it dries. So you're going to get a very, very different look. And then I'm just going to pop that inside the card. Because we cannot go without putting something inside the card. And I'm not a prolific writer when it comes to putting something in a card. That's enough for me to write. I don't write essays or anything like that. So there we go. So when you look at this one I was a bit heavier with the red. So the reds came out in this one. And then you've got, there I was more the green. Gave it a totally different look. There's the greens again came out in there and a bit more reds. There the pumpkin pie became the dominant one. And then this one was quite the dark colour, so you could actually pick up a lot of colours in that one. And that one ended up being very soft because I didn't put as much ink on. So I've got more like a watercolour look. So whichever way you like to do it, whether you want the stronger look. So as I said, they're all very different. They all change. And as they dry, they change again. So there's my card for today. Like, as I said, this technique, when I saw this, and I must once again thank Lena D'Ambrosio for it, I have been having a field day. And I've got half a dozen cards made. Quick, easy cards that I was able to make. And these can go for male or female. They're really great little cards. And as I said, you can also do a lot with the dies. And in this one, prove I've done my inside. I have sponged on the inside and put some of the leaves, the die cuts inside. And then this one, just got the navy and the wild wheat. And then I've just got a bit of wild wheat there. Now, you may just faintly see, I'll bring it up a bit closer. Can you see that? Can you just see the imprint there? Probably may not come on camera, but I made a mistake and I flipped the card over. But in reality, you can see a tiny bit of the navy, which looks like a watermark. So there was a mistake that turned out to be a benefit for me. So there's our card for today. It's a fun card. I'd love you to go and try one and pop it on my page and show me what you do, because it's a fun card. Yes, it's a little bit messy, but if you find it too messy, just get yourself some food handling gloves and they'll keep your hands clean. That's what we did with our class, and some of the girls were quite yucky, but it just depends on how you are. I think today the black didn't do as much because it's obviously drying out a little bit. So there's our card, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've learnt something. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Jacinta, and thank you, Kay, for that. And I will catch you, and we'll see you again next week at 1:30 on Monday. Bye for now.